Thank you. We are back, not as usual, but in another way, in a renewed manner, because God wants us to be blessed and to arise in a new. Now, our topic is current battles to be won. Last time we were in Mark chapter 5. Let's go back to the same chapter, Mark chapter 5. Now, Now, Jesus Christ, after crossing over to Gadarenes and harboring this man who was possessed and no one could tame him. If you check Mark chapter 5, verse 4, and you go to verse 5, the Bible says this person in Gadarenes, the possessed individual, dwelt among tubes, and no one could bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains, and the chains had been pulled apart by him, and shackles broken to pieces. No one could tame him. Now, let's go to the other part of this. Jesus cast out the demons. Jesus cast out the demons. And if you go to verse 15, the Bible says, then they came to Jesus and they saw the one who had been demon possessed and had a legion. Remember this, the demons entered into about 2,000, the number of pigs that carried these demons. There were about 2,000. You can read the story, that is from verse 5 all the way to verse 14. But now the main point here is when people who could not tame him, when people who could not bind him, when people who could not exist with him came, Christ took over, dealt with the person, and people came later to see. They came. They found Jesus had taken over the issue. And the issue is already solved. How? Now, Jesus did not destroy the man. Jesus did not cast away the man. Jesus delivered the man from so many demons, thousands of demons. And when people came around, they saw the one who had been demon possessed. Who had been. In other words, the issue of being demon possessed, the issue of walking in the tubes, the issue of walking naked, the issue of all the behavior that he had, behavior dictated by the demon, were over. And the issue of being demon possessed was a past issue. Past. He saw the one who had been demon possessed and had a legion sitting and clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. And those who saw it told them how it happened to him who had been demon possessed, and about the swine, the pigs. Then they began to plead with him to depart from their region. And when he got into the boat, he who had been demon possessed begged him that he might be with him. However, Jesus did not permit him, but said, go home to your friends. Tell them what great things the Lord has done for you, and how he has had compassion on you. And he departed and began to proclaim in Decapolis all that Jesus had done for him, and all marveled. Now let's look at this issue. This is a battle that has been won. A battle battle of issues beyond human strength. Let me tell you what will happen now. And today I'm going to pray about it. If you have a demon-possessed person, I'll speak to that demon as I pray today. If you have a son who is possessed, drug addict, I'll address it. The power of God is able to operate beyond any effort of man, and I know God will do something. So as I finish what I'm sharing, gather around all who are possessed in your family, a place of work, and I'm going to release the power of God over those people, and they will be set free right away, because the power of Christ want to produce a new environment in that family, a new situation, a new way of living. And we are going to visit you later, and we will witness the house, the family, the marriage that was in chaos is no longer in chaos. Chaos will be past thing. Demon possession will be past thing. The battle, the irritation, the crooked ways in the family will be past. We are now declaring there's a capacity in God to win current battles. The Bible says when Christ took over, let's explain this. Men and women of God, you've depended on your strength so much. Now, doctors are now giving up in some issues. Giving up. Currently, you have the issue of doctors telling you, go home with your patient and maybe get some nursing care around as you wait for anything. Strange things happening. No one can understand. But we don't need even to understand. All what we need to know is Jesus Christ and his power must break these attacks, these chains, these demonic things. People must accept behind what is happening, there is a devil. Behind what is happening, Satan exists. Behind what is happening are programs by satanic powers that needs to be cancelled. And that's why the problem in gatherings, people would use their might, will consult, will use even the forces, will use even maybe the armed forces, the police. The Bible says whatever existed in that country, in the government, in the system, that country could not tame and could not bind a person. Governments are giving up. Now, most of the governments are even United States, Europe, whatever they are. People are not able to control people. Governments are now failing to absolutely govern and control people, control situations. Very soon, democracy will fail. People are looking for yet the best president after every election. The best president you elected last time is the one who has failed now. You want another one. The one you elect now is the one who will fail next time, and you elect another one. I say very soon people will give up with democracy. It's not an issue of choosing a person. It's an issue of people must accept godliness. People must accept the fear of God. People must accept the talent that God has given. People must accept individuals that God has ordained. Not only now the influence of campaign, persuasions, the influence of ideas. Now the issue is a transformed person who fear God, a transformed person, wherever they are, president, king, members of parliament. Now, but democracy may not succeed so much, although it appears is the only political system, ideology, whatever, that can be applied and is acceptable. But innate, it is worship of human will. It is worship of human mind. It has nothing to do with God. It is the will of men producing men in leadership. men being put into leadership by the will of men, and is a problem. We trust power on an individual who is not under God. They'll end up in such a situation where they'll say, no one could tame and no one could bite. And they'll give up. And next time we put another one. And they'll still say, like it is written here, no one could bite and no one could tame. And therefore, we need as Christians now to arise, pray deeply, and produce prophetic power into the offices of leadership. We produce, just like Daniel did. He was able to penetrate, to bring the power of God into situations